So interest rates have had 6 increases this year so far, with another one to come in 2022. And during this time, people think that's bad for gold. And during this time, gold has really started to move lately. And I'm saying that it's got a lot more to run higher, and it's just getting started right now.
For many of you, this is your very first time here. My name is Peter Leeds, and I am the small stock specialist. And please understand that nothing in this video or anything we put out ever is intended as personalized trading advice for you.
The other day you would have seen gold prices went up over $46 in a day. Gold actually that day went up 2.85%, silver went up 7%, GDXJ went up about 8%. After a long time of being unloved, gold is finally starting to wake up. And you're seeing this possibly caused by the rampant buying that China is doing in preparation for their new reserve world currency that's backed by gold. And I did an entire video about that you guys need to see if you haven't seen it yet.
China's been buying gold by the billions of dollars per month, by the ton, and it got even more extreme lately, really significant increase in how much gold China is just absorbing and buying up.
That's why gold is finally going to start to move. The demand trends are very positive. People are getting gold back into their awareness for the first time in feels like forever. And I even got an email I'll show you from Drew, one of our subscribers. He says, is gold finally starting to wake up? Take a look at this portfolio. And this was all at a time during rising interest rates, which is counterintuitive to what people mostly believe happens. Gold goes up in inflationary periods, it goes up in deflationary periods, but just in each situation it's for different reasons. And you'll see as they start getting closer to the soft pivot that you're hearing about, where the Federal Reserve goes, okay, we won't raise rates as aggressively as we have been, you're going to see you're going to start seeing a lot of weakness of the US dollar when they make that statement, and you're going to see the price of gold ramp up pretty significantly from that point.
And as the dollar comes down, what is going to spike? Gold, oil prices, all precious metals, they'll spike in value.
Once it gets going, and this is what's happening, it's just starting to wake up a bit, and as it gets going from this point, it will go up a lot higher for a long time and start doing some of the things that I've been expecting for a couple of years now. But here's the thing that confuses me and scares me a bit. Gold is a good hedge against inflation, yeah, you know that. But gold is also a hedge against war, global insecurity. It's got a price premium, a war premium put onto it. The price goes up when economies and countries are in chaos or fighting with each other. What we saw is when Russia invaded Ukraine, gold was so unloved and ignored and misunderstood that it barely even moved. And we are closer right now to World War III than we ever have been in our entire lives.
Guys, that is the most likely flashpoint that would start World War III if we see it in our lifetimes.
That should be putting a lot of wind in the sails of gold, and it hasn't yet done that, but that will happen now as gold starts being treated fairly by investors. North Korea, for example, launched 23 missiles in one day the other day. And they're probably setting up for a nuclear test, and that should be putting more of a wind, again, in the sails of gold. There's a lot of macro events that are really, typically, conventionally, would have been pushing gold a lot higher, a lot faster than it is. And it's just slow because it's waking up. And once it gets going, it'll go, and that's going to be very rewarding for anybody who's invested in gold mining stocks or anything related to the price of gold or silver. And this is from Stefan in Munich, one of my favorite places in the entire world. Hey Peter, I bought a decent amount of Yamana shares, one of your hot picks back in 2017, and kept on holding them throughout several rallies and pullbacks. As a follower of your very positive view on the precious metal sector, I'm not planning on selling them anytime soon. Since last week, several mining companies are trying to take over Yamana. Is this generally a positive investment, and et cetera, et cetera? Okay, what's going to happen is there's going to be a lot of consolidation in the industry, especially with these low gold prices. This is a great time for a productive company that's got a lot of money in their war chest to take over other companies that have a lot of gold proven in the ground. There will be a lot of consolidation, and every time two gold mining companies consolidate, that's typically very good for the smaller miner that's getting taken over by the larger miner. They're all going to do good once gold starts doing what it's going to do. When that happens, whether they're taking over another company or the company being taken over, they will benefit from the moves in gold that we're going to see.
And I told you before about the oil wars upcoming, which are in process right now. All the countries are posturing, building militarized islands on top of oil deposits, laying claim to new oil regions in Africa. There's a lot going on. And I told you that the oil wars break out not when we run out of oil, but as we approach the period where we're going to run out of oil, which is now. So you've got China, Iran, Russia, and now Saudi Arabia, which is so significant in everything I'm going to tell you about. This is actually the entire economic system that we've come to know and love our entire lives. The entire system is right in the midst of changing dramatically, quickly, right now. And in the last 10 years, all the BRICS nations are dramatically increasing their gold holdings. And now, in the most recent months, China has been buying even more gold than they conventionally do. This video is sponsored by all the people who joined up for the Peter Leeds Army. If you have not done it yet, we strongly encourage you to do that. It helps us out a lot. It powers everything we do here. We dance for nickels, basically. So toss us a couple bucks, peterleeds.com/army, and everything that we do now, our work is all about getting more content and information out to you guys. In essence, Beijing and Moscow are seeking to build their own sphere of influence and a unit of currency within that sphere, in effect inoculating themselves from the threat of U.S. sanctions. And here's what I'm talking about. You can track how much gold is coming out of Switzerland and see where is it going, and that's how you track how much gold China is bringing in. But when you watch Swiss exports in a single month and you say where are they going, and you can see how much gold's going into China that way, you still don't know what the total is, and I believe that they're going to build up their stockpiles before they do a big reveal or announcement. They're going to get ready first. They're going to say, okay, we have more than enough gold to back up this brand new currency. Swiss exports of gold to China in July rose to their highest level since November 2016. According to Swiss customs data, Switzerland shipped 80.1 tons of gold worth $4.4 billion to mainland China during the month. In June, during the 14th annual BRICS summit, it was announced that the 5 economies would be seeking to create a new world reserve currency to replace the US dollar. The countries that want to get a leg up or get a step higher against other economies in the world, what they're doing is they're ravenously absorbing as much gold as they possibly can get their hands on. If the BRICS countries are amassing gold as a way to return part of the world to a gold-backed currency, as was the case in the post-World War II status quo until 1971, it would force the West into taking a position of fiscal and financial austerity that it hasn't been forced to endure for a long time. This is my point. The entire world global economic system is shifting right beneath our feet, and how you react to it is going to make such a difference for you. What's happening is there's going to be a new reserve world currency backed by oil and gold, with China, Russia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, Brazil, and India all involved in it, which means there'll be a lot of other countries too. And if you know anyone who would benefit or care about everything in this video that we're talking about, please share the video with them, or what you can do is subscribe to the channel to get all the upcoming videos that we're working on right now for you guys.